Welcome back. It's Money Monday. Today we are tackling the daunting topic that is inheriting a retirement. So to help us with the details, this is right up your alley. We have Derek Elrod. He's a certified financial planner with Bridge Wealth Advisory Group. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
I'm going to start with a question. Is this a good problem to have if I'm inheriting a retirement account?
It's always going to be a good problem,
Okay.
yes. Now, planning might be involved, but it's a good problem, yes.
Okay. So let's start there. What do you do if I'm going to, I kind of get a heads up like, hey, you're inheriting this. Like, where do you start? You know, what does the person on the other side do? What do I do?
Okay, so we'll get into that.
Okay,
Perfect.
okay.
So we're in the beginning stages of what they call the great wealth transfer. And over the next 20 years, they're estimating over $100 trillion, so with the T, that are going to transfer hands just here in the U.S. Now, not all of that is retirement accounts, but a lot of it is. And so what do you do, right, if you inherit an account? And so before we pull up the slide, a couple things. One is we're going to talk about non-spouse beneficiaries. A spouse beneficiary has tons of options, right? They can roll it to their own name, they can keep it as is, do an inheritance, a lot of options. So non-spouse. The other thing is the rules changed in 2020, so we're only going to talk about if someone passed away after 2020. Okay, so we'll pull up the first slide. What are the steps involved? First step, if you're going to inherit a retirement account, is to set up an inherited IRA or inherited Roth IRA in your name. You cannot roll it to your own. It has to be inherited because the rules are slightly
Separate ones.
well, if you're inheriting $2,
Okay,
correct.
cool.
I mean, meaning that if you inherit a Roth, do an inherited Roth. If you're inheriting a pre-tax account, it has to be inherited IRA.
Okay, gotcha.
Second thing is then transfer to the account, right, if you're the eligible beneficiary. The third step is a tricky one, but make sure you do it, is if the person that passed away has a required minimum distribution, which means they're 73 or older, if they did not do it, you have to take it from your new inherited IRA account by December 31st of the year of passing.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a 25% penalty on whatever the distribution amount is. So that's an often missed little rule there. And then everyone's circumstance is different, but develop a withdrawal strategy based on your circumstance.
So that's the question there. So I'm guessing that means, you know, what are you going to get to do with the money if you have plans for it, if you're withdrawing it, where do you put it, what do you do with it?
Well, and there's
do you
a lot
pay
of rules.
taxes on it? Tell us about that.
So most of us, probably 8 or 9 out of 10 people that are beneficiaries are going to be under what's called the 10-year rule.
Okay.
So you have to withdraw all the money within 10 years, so you have to empty that account out.
Oh.
You can do whatever you want with it, but you have to empty that account out.
Could I put it in a different account?
Yes, but not a retirement account. Okay, so if it's a inherited Roth account, it's a tax-free account, best you can have, right? So I'm going to exaggerate here. Stretch as long as you possibly can to the last day on the 10th year. If it's a pre-tax account, now I'm thinking, okay, any withdrawals you take might be taxable income to you. Now it creates other issues. Should you take it all in 1 year? It might throw you in a higher tax bracket. Maybe there's tax credits or deductions that you get. You might be phased out if you take too much in 1 year. You might hit IRMA, where Medicare Part B and D premiums are higher. Long story short is extra income could hurt you in other ways.
Gotcha.
So planning is involved where you might not want to take it all in 1 year. You might want to stretch it over several years. So that's where the planning, get a good accountant or a good advisor help you, because you could take this extra income and hurt you in other ways.
And we don't want to do that because this is supposed to be something that's supposed to benefit us.
I know, yes.
Oh my goodness. You know, what do you think is your biggest piece of advice for people who are in this situation, or they are perhaps going to put somebody else in this situation?
Good question. So one of the questions I get a lot is, are there penalties? Right, so we have ingrained in our head 59.5. I can't take money out. You can from an inherited account. There's no penalties. But what to do with it? Like I said, invest it, save. I know that's one thing that's always ingrained in me, is try to save. And then one other rule, though, if you're within 10 years of age of the deceased person, you can't stretch it your whole lifetime. So there are some little exceptions. Another reason to consult the right person. But, but my biggest tip is, like I said, is try to save, try to plan, and use the money as best as possible.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And as you just said, I mean, this is just something so personal. So consult your own financial advisor, your own Derek Elrod, if you have one, before you do any of this stuff. And as always, we always post this on our website, yourcentralvalley.com, under the Money Monday tab. So